Hi, everyone. I'm Ken Prescott.
And I'm Dorothy Dale Kloss.
And we are Two for the Show. And we are streaming live every Monday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I'm flying like an owl, like a bat on the prowl. It's so satisfying. I'm whizzing through a cloud past a star. I'm so proud. Look how far I've risen. High over the moon, higher I fly. Bye, old Mr. Moon, bid me goodbye. I'm flying, heading far out of sight. Second star on the right, now the way is clear. Neverland is near. Follow all the arrows, I'm about to disappear. I'm flying. Once upon a time, a long, long, long time ago, in a faraway, distant land, on the frozen tundra of the great plains of the prairies, where there is no sun in the winter, only northern lights to guide you, and in the summer, the daylight is 24 hours. But there is nothing to see anyway, except wheat fields stretching forever, where the buffalo roamed, and mosquitoes are the size of an airplane, and curling, hockey, curtsying, and eating chips with vinegar are a national pastime, and where there is a real queen. On a cold, cold winter's night, in a snowdrift, a Golddigger was born. Me! Over the next 4 hours, I'm going to explain to you in great detail that despite what people say, I was not that kind of a Golddigger. Now, if you haven't used the facilities, well, it's too late, because we locked the door. So just cross your legs and no whining, eh? Remember, there will be no intermission, and if your cells go off or you sing along or you want to take pictures, hey, it won't bother me. Now, please give me a warm welcome and a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present myself, one of the still living original Dean Martin Golddiggers, Suzy Cadham.
I feel so alive. Here is where all the excitement is. This is champagne with all the fizz. Hey, mister. You're so cool. You must be 6'4". Yes, I know this. Yes, I stole the scene. Yes, the producers noticed me. And yes, 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 I'm cast as the quintessentially dumb like a fox blonde Adelaide in Guys and Dolls. Well,
I'm the
first girl in the second row in the third scene of the fourth number in fifth position at 10 o'clock on the nose. I'm the first blonde and your hair is on the first swan in Swan Lake, and I play the thorn and the specter of the rose. In Irushka, I'm a fairy. In Petrushka, I'm a bear. In Sylphid, I play something that will really curl your hair. But the going's rough and I've had enough, so I think I'll give the slough to this artsy stuff and call the past the past. 'Cause the first girl's leaving the cast at last.
Well, that was our first video segment, the world of our very special guest today, singer, actress, comedian from the original Dean Martin Golddiggers to her many leading roles on stage and TV and her new one-woman show, I'm a gold digger, not that kind. Suzy Cadham, and she will regale us with tales from the golden age of TV in a few minutes. In fact, I can't wait any longer. Can you, Dot?
No, I think we've got to get her on. She changed her costume.
She did, and I love. Is she on the screen, Jim?
Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, got a big intro for you, Suzy. Just stand there with that feather. It's like Marilyn Monroe. Ladies and gentlemen, singer, actress, comedian from one of the original Dean Martin Golddiggers to her many leading roles on stage and TV, and her new one-woman show, A Gold Digger, Not That Kind. Now we have very, very expensive special effects ready. Drum roll. Suzy Cadham. Suzy, are you there?
No, I went home.
Yeah. Listen, I was laughing because Suzy has a very nice red dress and everything. So now, while we were doing some other stuff, I see her leave. She comes back with a boa.
Yeah, well, am I overdressed?
Oh, no. It's fine.
Not a bit.
No.
Is usually wearing sequins and
I know.
furs, and so I'm trying to keep up with her.
I know.
If you notice, I'm in navy blue.
You probably got pajamas.
I have my nun's outfit on today.
Well, never mind. It looks great. No, it looks great anyway.
That's what comes from going to Catholic school, you see. Anyhow, now I want you to be quiet for a minute. Because I want to welcome you.
Yes.
And I know it's hard to do. Anyhow, welcome, Suzy. And before we get started, we want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Oh, my God. Do you have a Bible handy?
No, but I have inside information.
Yes.
Do you think that will do?
I think so.
Yeah, well.
I think I saw Suzy in one of those tabloids at the grocery store.
So, Suzy, we're going to have to stop meeting like this. I'm telling you. I mean, I don't know if any other two people and Ken that I can think of that can talk for 2 to 3 to 4 hours, but us. I mean,
Hey,
it's amazing.
Did she include herself in there? Did she?
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
I just want to tell you that I know it's on the east or the west coast here, but Jim, I thought this was a food shopping network or something.
You're not allowed to talk to him.
No, just drink. Keep drinking. Go ahead. Go ahead. Ask your question.
So let's get on with it.
All right.
Put the drink down. Okay. So now I know this. I don't know if the audience does. Probably some of the people and their fans that are listening in, we hope. And you are from Winnipeg, Canada, right? Tell us about your beginnings in Canada as a child. Did you always have a burning desire to perform? And
how much time do you guys?
Will you just wait one darn minute? Put the stove down. I'm not through with this.
One more. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, you see, Jim, what we go through here?
You see, we get no respect. No respect at all.
Respect.
I'm going to ask this one more time.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Did you always have a burning desire to perform? And if so, how did you get started? Was it in the school play? You see how fast I went?
Yeah. No, I wanted to be a doctor. I grew up in a family of doctors. I actually went into, you won't believe this, you guys, pre-med. I got kicked out, though. And I got cast in a Broadway show at.
Wait a minute.
You got my direction. I got
kicked out of where?
She got kicked out of pre-med.
Yeah.
Well, how long did you last?
About 2 minutes. I didn't like all that biology.
Oh,
I
Lord.
wanted to sing and dance.
Well, now,
And
Suzy,
like a lot of you guys, I was the black sheep in my family. You know,
and now you're
the
you're the red sheep with the red on. And listen, so Suzy, what was your first professional job? And did you see a notice? Did you have an agent, or did someone recommend you? Was it the casting couch? What's the deal?
That's such a great question. No, Winnipeg, where I grew up, had this wonderful outdoor theater. And in the summertime, of course, it could only be the summertime because it was Winnipeg. The city had contracted with a production company from New York City to bring in Broadway musicals that included cast, crew, directors, choreographers. But part of the deal was they had to hire a percentage of local talent. And I was like 13 and I auditioned, and that be me. So from really an early age, like from 13 to 21, I was actually working in legitimate Broadway musicals, and what a training ground. I was just in the chorus, but I was so excited.
excuse me. Were you dancing in the chorus?
Of course.
We won't go any further with that.
Were you the first girl in the second row in fifth position?
You see, those two celebrities down there, well, there's two legends, one legend and a half. They are what we call triple threats. For me, I'm just a single. I just can only do one thing.
Well,
What was that one thing?
sing, but it certainly did you well. That's for sure.
Well, I tried to learn to dance. Actually, Dorothy's tried to teach me how to dance, and I think it's pretty much impossible. But I like standing behind her. And
Well,
her
a little better than impossible.
No.
Oh, don't say no.
No,
She was having really big problems.
If you guys out there in the audience could just imagine what it was like to take a class from Dorothy class, and she's up in front of the class and she's wearing high heels that are all encrusted with diamonds, and she's picking her leg up to the ceiling and laughing. You know, anyway,
What class was that?
it was that she was drinking that martini. That's the. Go ahead, ask your
Okay,
question.
now let's get serious.
Okay.
Just to go back for a moment, since you were gung-ho to perform, and I don't know if you know gung-ho or not, but did your parents approve of you driving them crazy, singing around the house, and as you grew up to be the beautiful Suzy, now don't let that go to your head, and decided to pursue show business, how did you go about that?
Oh gosh, that was so tough because they did not want me to go to New York to study, which is where I wanted to go. They wanted me to stay at home and finish university and get married and have babies. And as I said, I was like this black sheep. They didn't know what to do with me. But I want to tell you that secretly in the wings, because I starred in all the musicals, but my dad would stand backstage with an arm full of flowers. I think he was secretly really proud of me. But when I couldn't earn my living in New York, they actually found me a job as a secretary in Winnipeg, and I needed to get home quickly because the money was stopping.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
So? Before I ask my next question, though, so did you, when you were growing up, did you study voice? I mean, did you have a teacher?
Yes, I couldn't wait to get to my singing lessons every week. I just couldn't wait. And I was taking piano and I hated all that stuff, but I couldn't wait to sing. And I studied, I still study. I mean, I've been studying for 60 years. You know?
Well, when are you going to get it right?
Yeah, no, but that's a good. I mean, listen, Dorothy and I, when we're getting ready to do a show, we always work out and do. I mean, you have to keep your skills up, don't you?
Oh yeah, and then I got really lucky between. This is not like how you guys grew up. So when I was in second year university, I got to spend the summer in Banff at the Banff School of Fine Arts, which really that just absolutely fueled my fire to want to be a performer, because we put on a musical review and we toured all across the province. And I was like, I don't know, 16, 17, but I got the bug, and the bug is not leaving me. I wish it would leave, but it's not leaving me.
No, Suzy was here last week. I think Dorothy in the other room, and Suzy, we're working on her new show. Actually, I'm directing it. Anyway, we were here, and Suzy said, "Ken, I still love to perform." And I said, "So we do too." I mean, I think it's in you, don't you think so, Dorothy? It's just
yes.
It's
only the difference. We sit down
at the table and do this. Yes. No, but I mean, it is in you, Suzy. I mean, and
one time I've often asked people that were not just celebrities in our world, but great athletes, etc. And I always ask them the same question: how did you get started? And you know what? 9 times out of 10, everybody says the same thing. Something happened when they were really little, and that caught the bug, and that was it. So it's in us. So.
But what's really quite wonderful about you, not to throw too many compliments your way, but you attack the stage. When you walk on, everyone has to look up. I mean, they stop looking at their program because they really want to see what you're going to do. And that's really something.
And that's important, because today nobody really attacks the stage. I mean, takes charge, and you take charge, and it's very important, don't you think, Suze?
Yeah, I do. But one of the things I've always said is that I love this question, is that I'm so at home on the stage. And whenever I'm working, I love theaters. I love all our dialogue. I would just go early to the theater and go out on the stage just all by myself. Maybe the ghost light is on, and just look around. And when the orchestra is warming up, and I like it all. So I feel very.
You like to perform for the ghosts.
The ghost light. Okay, now, Suzy, you gold digger, not that kind. Listen, how did you get to the USA? I know it was difficult because I can't imagine them letting you over the border, but you did get here and start performing. And tell us about the audition for the Golddiggers, because that's really interesting.
Okay, thanks for that question, you guys. Well, when I came to the United States, I got cast in a lot of shows, and I toured all across the country, and I ended up being in Houston, working at the Houston Music Theater, and I was in a Broadway musical, and I was starring in it, but we had our guest director came out from Los Angeles, who just happened to be the director of the Dean Martin television variety show. And that was being in the right place at the right time, or luck, or whatever. I think being in the right place at the right time is really important in our business.
It is.
After he directed me, it was Ado Annie in, she's just a girl who can't say no to anything. Anyway, after he finished directing me, he said, Suzy, you have to come to Hollywood and be a gold digger on the Dean Martin show. And it was a newly formed group, because I'm one of the original ones. And so in many ways, I didn't really audition like the rest of the girls. They had to go through thousands of calls to get cast. And when they joined me, I was already in Hollywood. I was stepping into my life as a starlet.
Oh, that's really interesting, because Dorothy never, she just was put in the Empire Room starring in her act. And, on my first Broadway show, I sang a song for the conductor in his apartment. And when I walked in the first day of rehearsal, I'd never auditioned as a dancer or anything. They didn't even know I could dance. And it's the same thing. I bet those girls looked at you when you walked in and you didn't have to go through all those auditions and went, ooh, I could just kill her.
But that's the breaks.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes you're lucky and sometimes you're not.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
listen, there's a lot of girls that were in courses, and I'm still right today.
Yeah.
And they were discovered.
Yes.
I mean, just talk to Gail, who is one of the first
Rockettes.
Rockettes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she can tell you all about the auditions and whatnot.
Well, so Suzy, so what was it?
If I can just one thing too that happened, not when you talked about how did the girls feel about my not really auditioning, is the next thing that happened is we all were involved. We did sketches and vignettes, if you remember the variety show, the format, and they selected me to do a lot of the sketches, the vignettes, the voiceovers. And so because we were on a very, very limited time budget, and all we ever heard from our producer was, when you're in the studio, you got to get in and out. It was like live television, really. Right. And so they had to use people that they could depend on, that I would know my lines. I would, make my entrances the right way. They wouldn't have to retape anything. And so I also and when we did our records, I got to be the soloist on some of the stuff. So anyway, it was a great experience for me.
I don't think you were like that much.
You were too on top of things, Suzy.
No. That goes with the territory, don't you think?
I think you've got the experience. Yeah, you know exactly.
Absolutely.
Dorothy. And the other thing is, a couple of the girls were supposed to be 18 years of age because of what we were about to do, but some of them were not. They sat on their hands when they came in the room and they said, "Is everybody here over 18?" And and a lot of them had no professional experience, because the people that created the Golddiggers wanted us to be innocent, girls next door, not too professional, so that they could mold everybody. But I had already been working. I kind of was an old pro by the time I got there. But,
yeah, well, there goes that innocence right out the door.
Yeah, but Suzy, you've always had it. I mean, we kid a lot about it, but you've been a professional since you've been a kid. I mean, you love the business, you love what you're doing right now. I mean, here you are again at this time, and I just want to add this. Your new show is terrific. Yeah. And I can't wait till this week when you start going through it and at the studio, so I can get a chance to take a few pictures.
Yeah, we'll take some candids there. It'll be great.
Well, and I don't know if your audience knows that Ken co-wrote the show, Dorothy, and he's a brilliant writer. He composed some of the music,
I was just going to say that.
We have real simpatico, and I just appreciate so much his directing me.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Dean Martin presents The Golddigger.
Here are 12 girls I'm delighted to have with us. Ever since they starred on our summer shows, they've made hit record albums and appeared all over the country. It's nice to have them home again. Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful Golddiggers.
If I expected love when first we kissed, blame it on my youth. What goes up
I don't know. If you ask me, that Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau make a pretty odd couple.
When I grow up, I want to be the star of the most talked about new show on television. Do you think I'll make it?
From here, it looks like something's missing, Diane Carroll.
My little, my baby's okay.
Ask me a riddle and what do you say? Fit as fiddle and ready for love. Fit as fiddle and ready for love. Fit as fiddle and ready for love. Fit as fiddle and ready.
Alrighty, that was once again, some video footage from the multi-talented singer, actress, comedian, a very special guest today from one of the original Dean Martin Golddiggers, to her many leading roles on stage and TV, and her new one-woman show, A Golddigger, Not That Kind. Suzy Cadham.
So, to continue on,
Yes.
Suzy, working with Dean Martin must have been a kick. He presented himself as the good-natured guy that loved everybody, and of course, that's what everybody is looking for. And he was right on the ball with that, especially with the audience,
Yes.
you know. But was he fun to work with? Or did he just run in, do the show, and run out?
Yeah, right. Wow. Hey, by the way, Ken, thanks so much for putting together that nice promo. I appreciate that a lot. That was terrific. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, honey. So, so now we want the inside dirt.
You're getting it. Okay, so we had a stand-in for him all week long. He never rehearsed. As a matter of fact, they didn't want him to rehearse. They wanted the show to look as spontaneous as possible. So on the day of taping, he'd arrive in his Maserati to the stage door, get out, and he'd be in his tuxedo that he wore, and go straight into his dressing room. We're on stage in dress rehearsal, and he doesn't even come. And he sits there in his dressing room and watches football and talks to the producer. And then they bring him out on stage. And part of our deal was we were supposed to make him laugh, make him just move, fluidly across the floor. And I, being one of the shorter girls, was assigned to stand next to him and push and pull him around in the numbers. And, he just went with you. He was just really cool. But that's what they didn't want him to know anything about what was happening. And so that's the truth. And then the drinking business, that it's what really endeared him so to the audiences. But people often ask me, did Dean drink? And no, he didn't. He actually, does anybody know what was in that glass?
I happen to know this answer. Apple juice.
Yeah, I can. I think you've got inside information. Yeah. Well, it was just his shtick, and it's what endeared him so to the audience. So, but to be really honest, we didn't have that much interaction with him, as you can see.
Yeah.
We saw the numbers on tape day, and that was it.
That's it. Suzy, I know you've done so many great stage roles and had so many wonderful leading men on stage, including Tiny Tim, which we won't go into, and TV. But let's talk about your one-woman show, A Golddigger, Not That Kind. How it got started. What can we expect from this new show? And I had a little involvement in it because, as you said, I wrote some special material for it, and I also directed it. But tell us about the show and tell everybody what it is and what it says to you.
Yeah, the genesis of it, I think, really is that when I'm at cocktail parties, and I'm very popular, so I get invited everywhere.
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother.
Anyway, people always ask me the same question, the same thing as you guys get. You're a Broadway star, Dorothy, the oldest living working showgirl in Guinness Book of World Records. We always get the same questions. And so...
not all the time.
I don't mind answering them at all because fans are fans and we love you all. But I decided that, I'm going to put this together in a show. And I kind of had always had a dream of doing a one-woman show. And, but the thing is that you have to find people and put people around you that you trust, that are talented, that have the same vision that you have in putting together a one-woman show like this. Because it's not easy. I mean, people think you just write no, it's complicated. and finding Ken and then adding the music and the story just kind of fed itself into one thing. Like when I left Winnipeg and I headed to New York City, and so Ken puts in a song, hey, New York, a hell of a town. The Bronx is up and the Battery's down. I mean, a lot of the songs and the patter just led into it. And then, but in the show itself, which is stories, pictures, videos, some of which you've seen right now, but the highlight of my Golddigger career was going with Bob Hope on his annual USO Christmas show to entertain our troops around the world and in Vietnam. And I know you probably all know this from watching Ken and Dorothy's show, that Ken himself is a veteran, and I applaud you and thank you for your service, Ken.
I only pull that card out. I only pull the big guns out when it's necessary, when we're at a party, Suzy. And somebody always, I'm just there for a slosh and a nosh. Yeah. And there's always somebody that's going to take you to task, and Dorothy said, he's pulling out the big guns. I always said, I spent 4 years in the military and a year in Vietnam to defend your Randy, but I can have an opinion you want. Well, I guess you can.
No, that's true. And I do a whole segment on what it was like to be in Vietnam. And we kicked our tour off at the White House, actually. And I've got vintage footage, and no matter how many times I see it, and I think Dorothy saw a piece of it last week when I was at their place rehearsing.
Yeah.
And it still gets me in my heart when I see the soldiers and what we did, which is kind of mind-boggling what we did. We went completely around the world.
Absolutely.
So,
I don't think, I very seldom think about this, but I do remember being in Vietnam at Christmas time. And it's a lonely road to go at Christmas time with nobody around that or any signs from home,
Yeah, it is. And I think that's why Bob Hope and the group decided that they wanted to bring young girls over around Christmas time, because the soldiers could all relate to us, and there were 12 of us, plus we traveled with a swing girl in case anybody got sick or injured or whatever. But he would close every show singing Silent Night. And everybody who was there, whoever went on one of his 57 tours that he did, his USO Christmas shows, when we sang Silent Night, you couldn't hear, even though there was one place where there were, 50,000 soldiers in Da Nang and on Freedom Hill, everybody was crying. Every single person, everybody on stage was crying. And it just, and every Christmas that comes by, I still think about those. It was very powerful.
It's like when Dorothy did one of the last shows with Eddie Duchin at the Great Lakes Naval Station. She said there were like
millions.
Just like thousands and thousands of people there. Because.
But of course, that was a different war than yours.
What war was that, Dorothy?
The big one, WW2.
It wasn't the civil. Let me say. Anyhow, let's get on with this. To our audience out there, Suzy's new show coming up in December or January, we'll let you know, is so well done. With humor, songs, dance, and snappy patter, as you can tell.
Yes.
And you will be delighted if you are lucky enough to be in the audience. Suzy will be performing in many locations across the country. And how sorry. And how sorry will we find out where, that's wrong.
That's wrong.
Wrong printing. And how do we find out how to get tickets or where you're going to be?
We will send it to you. You guys can post it on your websites.
Okay. Now, do you have a website, and will those dates be on your website?
They will be, and I'm getting pushed into the Facebook world. So I will do that.
Well, now just wait one darn minute. This is business. And I think there's a commission that goes along with this. I mean, we're just not selling tickets for you.
We're not doing this for our health.
Here, I've got one for you, Dorothy. I've got one for you. I'm bringing it over.
I mean, enough is enough.
Now, Suzy, what's your website, honey?
It is Suzy Cadham, period. Just look me up.
.com.
www.suzycadham. And also,
you get a lot of weird people out there.
And there's tons of information on the internet about me, about the Golddiggers, about our different websites. So, yeah, you can find me there.
Well, Suzy, I cannot believe that your time is up. Well, not literally, but I mean for the show that.
We hope not.
No, but the mean man in the booth, Jim. He's a terrible man. He's pounding, he's hitting the walls, and he's giving me some signs. Must be time to go. Listen, as we say in the trades, we look forward to your return engagement. So you're once the show gets on, will you come back and we'll talk about it? We'll talk about it all day.
And I want to thank you guys so much for interviewing me. Thank you.
We love you, Suzy.
We love you, Suzy, and everybody. Listen, a gold digger, not that kind. Is a
we know a lot more about her than the audience.
But it's a great show. Suzy sings. She taught. It's just great and very entertaining.
Yes.
Yeah.
And don't forget the commission.
Yeah. We love you, Suzy.
Love you guys. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye, hon.
Bye.
Oh dear.
Is she on? Can we talk about her? What's going on?
Well, I must say Suzy is one of the finest performers I've known. And she's bringing back show business the way it used to be.
Yeah, she is. Yes. I mean, she does. You were right, Dorothy.
And what, hon?
Well, she does attack the stage. And that's what you need. I mean, people come out and go, "Hi, how are you?" Doesn't get it, You know something? Once other performers see her perform in this new show, they're going to go back to the rehearsal hall and they're going to start thinking up. That old song, I'm reviewing the situation. You bet. I had a great time directing the show and writing some special material for her. And, the holidays are creeping up. And so here's